So someone from my team said that they're going to bring donuts in Tuesday. I'm like, are you going to mail the donuts to me? If my entire team's in Texas. Like, how am I going to get my donut? Are you discriminating against me? Just because I'm from the Covington branch, isn't it? I don't know why I was on your team, but I want a donut now.
Good evening, everyone. We are still waiting on one of our players to join us this evening. But in the meantime, I am Joseph. To my left, we have Jonathan Marshall.
Yep.
Next to him, we have Aaron Hagerman.
Hey. Hagerman.
Hagerman. I always fuck up your last name.
There's no R.
I know.
Where does this R keep coming from?
It's Joseph. What do you expect?
The content that comes out of your mouth.
To be fair, Joe has a point.
These lips are rated E for everyone.
Anybody else smelling a lie here?
Just you.
So, real quickly, we're gonna pick up with what Aaron was doing at this party, while the rest of the crew were fighting assailants. Aaron, you were attending the party with the daughter of a minor lord who frequents the establishment you work for.
Well,
I'm glad to see I keep busy.
And
no
has
help.
requested you every time she comes in. She actually
Obviously.
requested that you accompany her to a gala
All right, I'll make sure to put on my nicest clothes, making sure to even stop by my personal friends at the tailors to make sure everything looks as proper as need be.
Alrighty.
Which means whole new outfit.
Aaron, how much do you want to spend on this outfit?
Do I have any idea of who else will be there? Is it just minor lords or major lords or overlords?
There are visiting dignitaries. There are the person who runs the city-state. It's the who's who of higher society.
I'll spend maybe a gold 120. I could probably use this outfit for a lot later on, so I'll make sure to at least get something of decent quality.
Okay. So, describe to me how the outfit you purchase.
I'm thinking a nice form-fitting pair of slacks. With a secret compartment just in case things get a little hairy.
Okay.
What would be a stylish top for this character to wear? Hold on, I actually need to look up clothes for the medieval period. I'm saying what a nice suit jacket would be the equivalent of.
And since you're in a port town, you have everything from, in our world, you have everything from Middle Eastern to Greek and Roman, all the way through French and...
You better not come in no daggone French suit.
No, I was gonna go.
The French have some really nice suits.
We don't want to be. Never mind.
Okay. So I am going in a more Middle Eastern fashion. A pair of light brown khaki slacks. I don't know the actual proper name for them.
Do you
And
have a photo?
yeah. Hold on. I'll just send it to you in Discord. An art silk jacquard sherwani in black with a poly cotton lining and woven with floral motifs and crafted in a Chinese collar neck and full sleeve. And of course, going to my friend to get it tailored.
As you do. And as you walk in, she looks a little surprised at what you ordered. Fancy occasion?
Just meeting some noble people. I got a job up in the manor tonight.
Oh.
And I thought going in my normal attire would be non-dignified.
Well, I know they're having the ball up there this evening. You're not going to that one.
Unfortunately, yes, I will be working it.
Working?
No, my friend is going in. She needed someone to make her feel safe, so more as bodyguard, more as arm candy.
Oh. When you say arm candy, she gives you that look.
But you've met her. There's nothing going on. I wouldn't be tempted by pointy ears. You have no. What's wrong?
No. She said we said arm candy for the.
Oh,
guy.
it wasn't. Oh, it wasn't a pointed look of it, like jealousy. It was a pointed look, like, oh.
No, it was jealousy, but it wasn't for the pointy-eared ones.
And since I'm being brought in, I thought only the best clothes would work, and so I went with the best tailor I know. In fact, actually, if you have any personal designs you want to show off to the nobles, I would be happy to model them for you.
Nothing that they didn't already order.
What about something that's all yours? I know you love creating.
Just men's fashion isn't really my thing, though. Unless you want to go into dress.
Probably save that for a second time.
And with that, she just
Oh my.
laughing.
After all, I have to shave my legs. But you know what? If you make this work for, if you can make what I ordered work for me, sure. I can be your arm candy, and I'll show off that dress. Though you need to wear a nice tuck to go with it. I'm not going to get all dolled up for nothing.
Well then. So, who is the lucky lady who you're accompanying this evening?
Did you give me her name?
You will be accompanying Kosari Vermilion.
Miss Vermilion.
The wife or one of the daughters?
That's a great question, actually.
It is one of the daughters.
I believe it's one of the daughters. I think she wants to disappoint her parents.
Well, she is a half-elf, so.
Then one parent's already disappointed. Oh, I probably need new measurements from the last time I was here.
Oh.
You wouldn't mind helping me out with that, would you?
I mean, I'm gonna have to take him to make the suit anyways.
Alright, my character starts stripping.
How much are you stripping?
Down to my loincloth.
Okay.
And yes, my character does wear a loincloth. I know there
God.
There are other undergarments in this region, but that is what you've chosen. Okay. Okay, Aaron. I need you to make a charisma roll for me.
just pure charisma.
Yup.
Let's see. 13.
13?
Yep.
Okay. Okay. So she blushes slightly, but she keeps her composure.
Are you alright? You seem a little red.
I'll be fine.
So how do you want me?
And she gives you kind of that a dirty look.
I return with a small smirk.
Arms out. Feet shoulder width apart so I can get these measurements. Not like that. Straight out. Come on, I need... She takes the tape she has in her hand and she just whips you across the chest with it.
Ow!
You take... Fuck, where's a D4? I don't want to use a D8. That's too much damage. You take 8 points of damage.
8?
I said a point.
Oh.
Kind of like 8, to be honest with you.
Damn, she bloodied me. Yes, ma'am. In line, feet straight. Well, as you ordered.
And I do believe everyone should have leveled after the last episode.
Oh,
Yep.
I'm gonna take care of that.
So we'll go ahead and level everyone while we wait.
Okay, so after getting everything adjusted and everything, I imagine I'm gonna meet her at the brothel.
Actually, you were told to meet them at their family's mansion. At the Vermilion family estate.
Okay. Oh, also I have that package from last session on me too.
Actually, last session, they attempted delivery of that package.
Oh, how'd that work out?
John will go over that in the recap.
Okay. So I'll make my way to the estate.
Alrighty. So, new threads in tow. Looking rather sharp and catching quite a few eyes as you work your way across town to the far north side near the wall. You come to large iron and bronze gates adorned with all manners of sweeping lines and things that look like bronze leaves of ivies and holly and other similar plants. The mansion is surrounded by a 12-foot stone wall with a slight adornment across the entire top, matching the front gate, and every so often a small light post. The walk to the front door is paved with smooth stones that have been hewn to allow for carriages to roll easily up to the front without making much noise. In the front yard, you see a large fountain behind which sits the large 12-bedroom manor that the family resides in.
I go towards the gate.
Alrighty. You approach the gate. A gentleman standing at the front gate says, "What can can I do for you today, sir?
Miss Vermillion's been expecting me.
And who may I say is calling?
Foo.
Fu. Very well. And he steps back through the gate, closing it behind him, and walks up to the house. You get the feeling that they are rather protective of the estate due to the family status and the fact that they are a major trade group within the city.
I've already been in their garden.
More ways than one.
No. Hit the wrong button. That was bad. Fu, how old were you again?
15.
15? Minutes later, the gentleman returns, opening the gate, motioning to come in.
I follow.
You see a very nice carriage is sitting near the front door, awaiting the family. See, standing at the front door is Kosari Vermilion.
I give a bow.
She curtsies in response.
Why, you look as lovely as ever.
Check 1, 2. Check.
3, 4.
Check 1, 2.
3, 4.
Aaron, talk for me again. I'm trying to fix the volume thing.
Okay. How's this?
Let me check.
I can give you Aaron's fun fact today.
Oh no.
Every number is indeed infinite, because if you take any number and you divide it an infinite number of times, you would get something that's infinitely small. But if you add all those numbers back up, you get something that's infinitely big, making all numbers, in fact, infinite.
Oh boy.
Ain't they? Yeah, what the philosophers and the science community gotta say about that logic?
If you can prove that my logic is flawed, please comment.
Yes. Please harass my players.
Again, if you take any number and you divide it by infinity, the pieces are infinitely small. If you add them together, it's infinitely big. It is more than the sum. So every number is always infinite.
that. So you guys are on the she introduces you to the family as you will be showing her to the dance tonight, so her father wants to approve of you first.
Oh Lord. Somebody make some popcorn. This is about to be good.
So Aaron, what do you say to her father?
Good evening, Lord.
Good evening.
I see where your daughter has obtained her vast beauty, her maturity, and her wisdom. I see it reflected in both you and your wife.
He nods. Just knowing it's the typical BS.
I also see where she holds her passion. Her shrewdness, her cleverness, can only be matched from a merchant family. Your daughter has been no fool, and as one of your children, I imagine she has earned your respects in some way and has deemed me a fair fit to escort her tonight. I hope you do the same.
Just don't get in too much trouble at the gala.
Define too much.
Don't cause a scene.
Don't worry, I'll only cause a small commotion.
Oh,
It will not break out to a scene.
And he just rubs
Maybe
his
a
temples.
Maybe a kerfuffle.
Well,
he can't
before
take
we
you
go,
any.
Would you like a cigar? And he walks over to what looks like you're like in his study. And opens up a box of very fine cigars. There we go.
My, what a collection.
And there she is. How you doing? Hello, Rachel.
Hello.
There you are. Hi.
Oh, hi. Sorry, my computer does this really weird stuff with my audio.
Oh, that's fine. Right now, we're just going over what Aaron's character was doing, while you guys. We're going over what Aaron's character was doing during the last session.
What was he doing?
Well, currently he's at the Vermilion family estate because he was to be the escort for a young lady of the family.
Ah.
So, Aaron, cigar? No cigar?
Cigar.
He offers it to you.
Why, thank you. Do you have a light?
And pulls forth a match, strikes it, and lights your cigar, lights his cigar. You will be accompanying my daughter this evening. Anything that you do that would besmirch the family will be met with equal consequences. Do you understand?
why I do not believe your daughter would have chosen me if she's not think I could live up to the representation of your family.
You'd be surprised.
After all, she seems a great character and sound judgment.
I do also expect you to keep her safe. Which is part of the reason I agreed to let her choose you as her escort. Is this understood?
Yes, I promise no harm shall come.
Very well. The ladies should be down momentarily. Shall we adjourn to the foyer?
After you, my lord.
And you two.
I'm taking a quick stock of the place while I'm in here, though. So, me and him are just relaxing, smoking some cigars. I'm taking a mental inventory.
So, a couple minutes later, his wife and his two daughters come down the steps.
What a sight for sore eyes.
So, Kosari Vermilion is about 16 years old. She is roughly 6 foot. So, quite a bit taller than most people.
Actually, have to see how tall Fu is. I think I made Fu my height, so she actually might be as tall as me.
Well, she also has heels on right now.
Oh, she's 6 foot with heels.
Yeah, she's a 2-inch heel, so she's like 5'10".
Okay.
But she's still relatively tall.
Yeah.
Her ears have a slight point to them. Her long blonde hair flows gently over her shoulders and down her back to about mid-back. It is braided into a very neat braid, starting as a waterfall braid across the front and then being collected into the back.
Mm-hmm.
And wears a very elegant dress. Nothing too revealing. But is absolutely stunning. So she walks down. She curtsies.
I bow.
Shall we away to the gala?
Of course, but before we go, I brought you a gift.
Oh.
The most beautiful bracelet in the world. And I pull out, it looks like a bunch of sticks woven together to be around her size. And I put them on. Then I take her hand and give it a light kiss and use druid craft to make the flowers on it bloom.
I figured that's what you were gonna do. Her father's a little taken aback. Her mother is surprised because not many people just openly use magic in town. Especially not druid magic.
Uh-oh.
It's not that. It's just not many people in town.
Can do it.
Well, there aren't many druids in town.
I'm not really surprised with what goes on around town.
Yeah.
They're only a fraction. The flowers are only a fraction as beautiful as you.
She blushes.
And I take her by the hand towards the carriage.
So, we're gonna skip to, you guys have arrived at the event. The Vermilion family as a whole is announced. They do not announce you, Fu.
Oh, I'm pretty sure some people recognize me.
Oh, yeah.
Just none of the
Like
nobles.
who?
Fu, you
Like-
recognize about 15 people in this room.
How many of them are guards?
None of them are guards.
Hmm.
They're all nobles that are attending this.
Do I see Aaron?
Not yet. About 20 minutes later, you see her come down the main staircase on the arm. Let me double check his name that way don't screw. Of Baron von Trace, the gentleman in charge of this lovely city. And she's in a sparkling white gown. Well, white silvery gown. So, that throws you off a little bit.
Oh my god, she bathed. Okay, so we're really going for the virgin look.
Wow!
Ow.
So, about 20 minutes later, Fu, your date requests that you follow her someplace, and you are indisposed for roughly an hour.
I'm just thinking these clothes are from this picture. The picture, these clothes look like they're easy to take on and off. So
Your character is MIA during the whole people breaking in incident. But,
oh, people are breaking all right.
More like furniture, but we ain't fitting that bill.
Okay, so what are these two doing while I'm indisposed?
so, these two are
I
in the
knocked the
gallows.
dude out with a high heel.
You stabbed a dude with a high heel. You didn't knock him out.
Is that a chihuahua in your lap, or are you just happy to see us?
Yeah.
Is that a poncho?
Nope, that's not Pancho.
Oh, that's not poncho.
That's
No, it's a
Willie.
dog.
The mutt.
Yes, it is a mutt. Stop.
Pupper.
Okay, so we're going to skip to everyone having wrapped up combat.
Oh, is that what we're calling it?
Well,
So, at that point, would either what I need the two of you to roll a d20.
Which two?
The two that were here for the last session, as they're going to be doing our recap.
Oh no. You have to roll one too.
that's gonna be me.
What do you roll in that one?
2.
Well, I rolled a
I almost
19.
got a 1. I got a 5.
I got a 19. So, John, would you like to recap what happened in the previous episode of the Fairwinds podcast?
Well, to be fair, since we all pretty much caught up to the important bits, I was given an invite by Fu's father figure
Sure.
to this gala, as we snuck her in as the Baron's guest. How that worked is sheer dumb luck. How she got into the fancy dress is beyond me. Well, these Christmas nor does he care at the moment. While Chris was pretty much hanging back, and she was gallivanting with the Baron, all hell broke loose.
Did you
Ninja
mention
elves,
Did you mention who you were accompanied by? The priest being escorted by a
Oh yes,
lady
the
of
priest
the night.
being escorted by a lady of the night.
Oh, is she from my establishment?
No,
No,
she's a associate of Jeremy's.
Oh, do I recognize her?
Actually, you wouldn't because
He has a secret life without me?
You don't know everyone in the underground, and Jeremy tries to keep it that way.
Rude.
Knowing is a liability.
Lying is our job.
And when you don't know, it's much easier to lie. Because you can't tell the truth.
Because you don't know shit. But anyways, Anthony, you got basically ferried off during the gala. All heck broke loose. We had basically ninjas decide to pop into the party. Uninvited, unwelcomed, going after a prince for whatever reason. While that was being handled, me and Our Lady was taking care of the battle. You probably trying to find your pants.
Please, I'm trying to help her find hers. Or her underwear.
Anyways, the ninjas, sorry behinds, captured one of them with the general of the last war delivering the knockout blow. Axe broadside to the face. And he got some distance. I mean, Beirut wish he could hit that far.
Yeah.
Outside of that, you probably just now rejoining the rest of us while we're trying to figure out what the heck happened. Anything else I forget?
I do believe the other companion who was with you guys did deliver the package.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I sent him to deliver.
Which he just handed to the prince, I believe, after the prince, rather than putting it in the prince's room.
As we were told.
Yeah. So, with that, everything is starting to settle down. Stock is being taken of what the hell just happened, and people are trying to figure out who these people were.
This is a disaster.
You see quite a few people are just calling it an evening and heading home. As the festivities kind of have died.
That's putting it mildly.
I know the Baron was injured, so I'm gonna go around and see if I can find a medic or something to help him.
Okay.
Jeez, what am I, chopped liver?
Were you stabbed in the stomach?
He's right. God, everything's not
He's
about
a
you.
cleric.
Eric.
Oh shit! Yeah. Okay. Hey, can you help?
You forget
Sorry,
what
I'm
your
sorry.
own party member is. Wow.
Wait, you're a bard. Can't you use cure wounds at level 2?
That was in the other campaign.
Oh right.
Well-
What's the one shot? Wrong campaign.
Well, no, you did level. You guys level at the end of last. Did Erin not level the character?
No, Erin leveled her character.
So you should be
So
level
then
2.
here-
I am level 2.
Okay.
So you should be able to heal.
But I'm
Alrighty.
Still want
rogue.
someone else to do it.
So, Fu, as you and your charge have been are making your way back, you see guards everywhere, and they all just seem to be on high alert, and you really don't know why.
Well, no, I'm gonna try to make sure our clothes are somewhat straightened, and just casually make our way back to the main hall.
Alrighty.
God, they act like someone died.
You make it with your lady friend back to the main hall, and see 2 guards carrying out what looks like a body under a sheet on a stretcher.
Oh, I'm sorry, Lady Vermilion. I guess someone did die. Well, I did promise your dad that there would be no harm done to you, so minus some wobbly legs, I think mission accomplished.
Is
And,
something broken?
She kind of just punches you in the kidney.
Oof.
Um,
Oh, come on, you had it. That was a good
Aaron,
time.
you have 1 point of exhaustion right now.
How many does she have?
1. Maybe 2.
Would you like me to grab you some refreshments while we figure out what's going on?
That'd be very much appreciated.
Me and my kidneys will be over there.
So, there are large banquet tables filled with food and hors d'oeuvres, and there's a full bar making any drink you could imagine.
I'll take 2 of the strong stuff. Make it sweet.
And the bartender looks at you, nods, and just pours from a very nice bottle of wine. Stuff you've seen, but you've never been one to afford to drink.
Did people order bottles of wine while they were out here?
No one ordered bottles. It looks like everyone who was getting drinks was either taking them off of trays that were being walked around by people or similar things.
Okay, I'm gonna try to investigate the area while I'm walking.
Okay. So you see the rest of your party near the Baron.
I bring the drinks over to my lady and ask her would she like to meet the Baron. It is proper to introduce yourself, I heard.
If you could arrange it, it'd be very nice to meet him. Yes.
Well, he's right over here, and I take her hand and we walk over.
Okay. So
My character doesn't know decorum.
you walk over and meet up with the rest of your party with
Baron,
the
the general, most likely.
the Baron is there. One of the generals is there.
So is anyone healing the Baron, or is he just sitting there bleeding?
John, are you
I would
healing? Okay,
Don't-
so John
That
passed up the
says it.
Baron. Okay.
Yeah.
Your Baroness, Madame, Priest.
Did you call me Baroness?
I
Said
mean,
you're-
you are the plaything of the Baron right now, so that you technically.
True.
Hey, Foo's being professional right now.
My character looks at
You
Fu
were
like,
introduced as the Baron's companion for the evening.
True. Okay, yeah.
Well, my word, is he going to be all right?
It seems like he's gonna be fine. He'll just need lots of rest.
rest and probably a few drinks. Which I wouldn't blame him.
Well, Baron, would you like it? Was something ordered from the bar strong? I haven't had any yet.
No, I'm fine. I probably shouldn't have something to drink. It may worsen the bleeding.
Is there anything me and Lady
Her name is your name.
No, I'm thinking about the person I'm with.
Oh, Vermilion.
Is there anything me or Lady Vermilion can do for you?
Not at the moment. I think I am going to turn in for the evening. As I am quite a mess.
I see. Claire, what transpired here?
This
Were you
goes
not
to
in here when the people came through the windows?
No, I was trying to find the little boy's room.
Ah,
smart answer.
Unfortunately, I got a little lost being the first time here. All I heard
it is
was
a rather large place.
all I heard was some commotion, and I thought I was missing out on some party.
Well,
You missed out on some things, but for the better, considering that Miss Lady Vermilion is safe. You actually did a good job.
Why, of course, her comfort is my top priority. And I aim to satisfy. And I'm angling myself so that my kidneys are not an easy shot.
Sure.
Unfortunately for you, Chris looks at you like, you idiot.
Oh, I'm being completely professional. My character might have a smirk, but he's standing straight. He is standing just slightly to her side.
Because the background is blurred.
But I was in front of your face.
Yeah, it's only going to show my face.
Well then, if you are off, I must return Lady Vermilion.
in that case, I hope the two of you have a good evening.
We are looking forward to the next soiree,
Swar.
next shindig. Hopefully, a little less eventful.
Well, I hope so as well. It may be quite a while until I've recovered enough to party like this again. So,
Would you like me to find a guard to help you to your room?
that'd be very much appreciated.
Oh, I think someone broke in there too. There was a ruckus in the hallway, or it sounded like it.
Oh no.
And with that, I will bid you adieu. It is getting late, and my lady is tired.
He
Of
nods.
all the damn places, please tell me you did not go to the bear's room.
Okay, I will not tell you I went to the Baron's room.
Oh my god.
And you said I was indisposed for what was it, an hour?
Yeah, roughly an hour.
Yeah, it might have looked like someone broke in. I might have also pocketed things while I was cleaning. Well, putting my pants back on. Anyway, off to the missus.
So, Aaron, real quick, give me a luck check. We're going to see what you pocketed.
Is that just a straight D20?
No, give me a D100 roll.
Ooh.
Actually, give me a sleight of hand, and then we'll do that.
My shoes and dry.
Okay, nat 20.
A nat 20, okay. So, you will have taken 4 items.
I heard.
And the D1, you said 1D 100 or 4?
Roll 4 D100s.
For what?
For the things he stole from the Baron's bedroom.
Do you want the total score or the individuals?
Individuals.
9, 21, 28, 20.
Okay.
Which statistically is horrible.
I know. So you have the Baron's pipe.
Well, no, my back. What?
A pair of his underwear.
You do have a pair of his underwear.
Hold on, I'm adding this to my...
Can I buy that from you?
So you are currently wearing a pair of the Baron's underwear.
Well, to be fair, you probably couldn't find his loincloth.
I hope I found it. I'm pretty sure Baron knows how to track somebody.
Yeah. You also have a small bracelet with a sapphire set in it. You also have a small slide piece for a neckerchief.
That's a mostly crap, but Baron crap.
The bracelet is gold with a about 1/8 inch diameter sapphire set in it.
You were saying?
I said mostly. Now, tell me about this pipe.
So, I will attempt to find a photo of what you just took.
Does the Baron have a nice pipe? Is it a...
Oh, it is a very nice, elaborate,
One of a kind.
hand-carved church warden.
Actually, even if I did leave my loincloth, a loincloth unwrapped just looks like a normal piece of fabric.
Yeah. I'm trying to find the pipe that I had picked out for this. I can't find the photo.
So as we get into the carriage, I look to her, Lady Vermilion. So you have me booked for the rest of the night. Do you want to go home yet, or?
I think it would be best that we headed back to the estate.
All right. Out of curiosity, how far is the estate from here?
Depending on how fast the carriage goes, 30 minutes.
Well, we have a bit of time. What would you like to do as we wait? We can talk about what transpired.
Bow wow.
She grabs you and pulls you in.
Miss Vermilion.
Bow wow.
Round 2. Start.
Yeah, round 2.
I need a performance and a constitution save.
And please tell me who got fixed.
Fixed. I think we talked about that the first time. No, it was no petting.
Yes. No, it was
No,
no
that's
animal handling the first time.
No, you said because this is nighttime and it's closer to the full moon, I can use that in place because I'm more beastie.
Yeah.
And I have advantage on it. So that's a non-natural 20
Okay.
and a 6 con.
A 6 for your constitution save?
But a 20 in my version of performance.
Okay. I'm going to roll a die.
Oh boy.
Okay. Fu, you're lucky. She didn't get pregnant. And I mean, you're really lucky.
I'm pretty sure I can take herbal supplements as a natural thing for that.
Better start
First
taking
thing in the morning, I'm taking food of Planned Parenthood.
I'm pretty sure Jeremy's talked to me about contraception. He is an alchemist.
Yeah.
He may have mentioned it, but I don't think he actively was giving you anything for it.
Well, his son figures works at a brothel. They probably should have this talk soon.
They probably should.
I'll bring
Probably
it up in the
should.
morning.
The brothel should probably be supplying it now that I think about it.
Inside the grounds of the brothel, there's enchantments that handle it.
Oh.
Fu is not on the grounds of the brothel.
Well, now you know where to go.
Yeah.
Oh,
Does she
Lord.
know? Does Lady Vermilion know that he works as a prostitute?
That's where we
Yeah,
met.
she's the one who hired
Okay.
him in the first place.
Okay.
Primary reason why.
The time to get there.
Okay. So, the two of you, she, sneaks you in the back way up to her room. And, you are indisposed for the rest of the evening.
Alright, I'll catch up on my party in the morning.
Yep. So, the rest of you are at the party still. Aaron, are you accompanying the Baron to his room?
I mean, I'm gonna try to help him
Okay.
to get there.
So, you escort the Baron to his room. His room seems to be quite a mess.
It looks like someone probably came in here. Is there another room you'd rather stay in?
Yes, we'll stay in, the room you met me in, for the time being.
In the study?
Yes.
Alright. So I help him down the hall to the study.
Okay. So, you two arrive in the study. You see a bed has been moved in there for him.
Alright, I'm gonna help him hobble over to the bed and set him down and get him laid down.
Okay. By the way, John, what did you do to treat his wounds?
Magic?
Okay, so you used magic to close the wounds then.
Yeah.
Okay, what spell did you use?
You're like wounds. He was.
Okay. So
Well.
they are closed up.
Yeah.
All right. So the Baron gets into bed. Aaron, what are you doing now?
I'm gonna take a respectful step back because this man is incredibly injured.
Would you mind staying the night, just in case?
Oh,
As you seemed, rather well off in that fight earlier.
Yeah, I can stay.
Oh Lord. Do I gotta teach the person the means to do both of these people? Shit. Because Jeremy ain't doing it.
I mean, she's been alive for centuries, but she doesn't know what birth control is. That's her fault.
The three of us are gonna talk birds and the bees in the morning.
Oh Lord.
Oh, speaking of which, since we're level 2 now, I can show Miss Vermilion my wild shape.
Oh boy.
Oh. You didn't think that through, did you?
I mean, she didn't.
I forgot what level he got wild shape at. I thought he got it at level 3.
Nope.
This is about to go so bad. Well. Food, kiss your freedom goodbye.
Okay. So, John, is there anything your character would like to do with the rest of his
My
day?
character goes to the Adventurers Guild like, I'm not dealing with this shit.
Okay, so you head back to the Adventurers Guild.
Ooh,
Yep.
Octopus is a CR0, so I could definitely turn into that. I just can't swim.
Doesn't someone need to tell the mob that we delivered the package?
They'll find out.
I was gonna say, I don't think you need to do it that night.
Okay.
Especially considering what happened.
I mean, if you wish to go, John, and talk to if you wish to go and talk to
Nope.
the mob boss, that is up to you.
I'm going straight to the Adventurers Guild because I really did not want no part of that.
Alrighty then. So, you guys call it an evening. One of you getting into a bit of mischief. Another staying by the side of a man who's taking a shine toward her. And one of you absconding off to the Adventurers Guild, just not trying to deal with any of the bullshit. The next morning comes. It is quite chilly. And Fu, you're awakened by a handmaid of Miss Vermilion telling you that you need to get your things together and so you are not caught in her room by her father.
Alright. I prepare myself, making sure I have everything I brought with me.
Alright.
And I'll just leave a note. To my dear Vermilion. Till we meet again at the usual
Using
place.
her last name? Wow.
I honestly forget her first name.
Kosari.
Dear Toseri. Till we meet again.
Kosari, if you care to know, it's spelled Coseri. And her last name is Vermillion.
Soon to be future baby mama. That's soon to be future baby mama.
No, she didn't get pregnant that time.
And then I draw a picture. And instead of signing off my name, I just draw a picture of a tail. Actually, I'll draw a small dog with a fluffy tail.
Alrighty then. So, the morning comes. Aaron, you are awakened to the smell of food wafting through the palace. And one of the handmaids of the Baron coming in to wake him in the morning.
Wow, that food smells good. I haven't smelled food like that since I don't know when.
Would you care to join me for breakfast then?
How much would it cost?
It won't cost anything. Consider it
A free-
thanks for your assistance last evening.
Sure.
So you guys have breakfast. John, where did you sleep at the Adventurers Guild? Just pass out in the lounge?
Pretty much.
So, you are awoken by the some adventurers just storming in the morning, getting ready to find what their assignments for the day will be.
I just sigh like, morning already. Thank the goddess. Hopefully last night was just a dream. Who am I kidding? I know fool now.
Hey, you dealt with a very respectful and professional fool.
Yeah, John, you don't know what they did. All you know is Fu was escorting a very nice young lady to the gala.
Yeah, but I'm also factoring a hormonal teenager.
Not everything about teenagers involves sex.
Yeah, I
Except
was gonna
sex.
say.
That involves power.
I mean,
You're like, damn it.
I don't know why you guys jump straight to sex with everything.
I was being really respectful. She's the one who was pulling me to the side. If anything, she was taking advantage of me.
Yep.
You were her prostitute.
Pot, this is the kettle. You're black. And I prefer escort.
Yeah,
Boyfriend
technically he was
services.
hired as an escort for the evening.
This was done through a company, not a pimp. So yeah, I'm gonna make my way back to the inn.
Okay. John, do you ever
After
make
my
your way back?
Yeah.
Okay. Aaron, what was that?
after my breakfast with the Baron, I think I'm gonna make my way back to the inn.
Okay. So you are, by the way, you are still in the dress that you were gifted the night before.
Before I
And
go,
your coat is brought to you so you are not walking out into the cold.
before I go, would you like me to change back into the dress that I came in, so that way I don't have to?
Keep the one you're in. I will have the other one cleaned and sent to you.
Oh, thank you.
Burned and sent a nicer version.
I mean, I didn't say it.
I
You're
have
on.
no personal attachment to it.
Yeah.
All right, then I'm gonna
Jeremy,
head back.
Okay. So you guys meet back up at the tavern.
I assume your evenings were quite enjoyable.
I was just worked me like a dog all night.
I played bodyguard.
Well, seems like one is actually listening to their calling. The other one, I feel sorry for Jeremy.
And with that, Jeremy's like, "What do you feel sorry for me for?" As he walks out of the kitchen.
Points to Foo.
Still wearing the really nice attire.
Liking the threads, Foo.
Thank you. Is this something
Big
one should
evening.
feel sorry about?
I mean, it looks
I'm
like
not-
you were hanging with nobles, which is surprising for you.
Paid gig.
Speaking of payment, Fu, shortly after you arrive at the tavern, a messenger arrives with a small satchel for you containing 22 electrum.
I look at it, keeping a neutral look on my face. Thank you, good sir. And I tip a silver.
Okay.
Not letting anyone peek.
Like, he goes wide-eyed when you tip him a silver. Most people live off of a couple copper a day. He makes like a silver a week. Or 3 silver a week.
Thank you for making sure this has been safely delivered. I
very
really
welcome,
value what
sir.
you do.
And he hurries off to his next delivery.
I find it funny he calls me sir when we're probably close to the same age.
But you're in fancy dress, which is... As you're walking home, the little old lady at the fruit stand whistles at you.
Are we talking like whistle whistle or cat call whistle?
Cat call whistle.
Yeah, but it could be room mirror up front. I guess we never did take that full measurement. Anyway, Jeremy, I actually brought you a gift.
Oh?
With some of my hard earnings, and I produced a pipe for him.
He looks at the pipe, which clearly has the crest of the Baron on it. He's like, Fu, where did you get this?
What did you do?
I found it lying around.
Fu.
Where was it lying around?
Lying around where?
I mean, when I noticed it, it was on the floor.
Foo. Please, for the...
Wait. So I went to bring the Baron to his room so that way he could retire for the night, and it was a mess. Are you telling me that was you?
No.
Foo.
Fuck you!
No, not foo me. Fook you. All I know is it was just randomly on the ground.
Half
looked nice.
lies
In
don't
his
get
bedroom.
you anywhere. Return it at once.
I want to see
Can't
some.
take you anywhere.
I want to see some insight rolls.
Yeah. Give me an insight roll. Otherwise...
I got a 16 on my deception.
Okay.
I got a 21.
Yeah, Aaron knows you're full of shit.
Hey, you got lucky.
She knows.
And
But
Jeremy,
also, you got
Jeremy got a nat 20. He also knows you're full of shit.
Anyway, you do so much for me. I just wanted you to have something nice.
Fu, what else did you steal?
A young woman's heart. Here, I pull. Well, I slowly lowered my pants a little bit.
Fu!
You took the mouse boxes as well.
You stole
Really
the Baron's underwear.
They're really soft. I couldn't find mine.
Okay, so moving on.
So as far as he's concerned, someone broke into his room and stole his pipe and a pair of his underwear. What else did you take?
I would say a woman's virginity, but no, that's not the case.
Who?
So I might have taken it earlier.
Please tell me you gave this
Yeah,
fool
you
the butts.
were her first at the first time you were called to the family palace.
Also, I made some connections with a noble family, the Vermilions.
You were out with the Vermilions last night.
I mean, as long as the coin comes in, I didn't really question it.
Forget the vermilions. We could have had the Baron in the palm of our hands.
Didn't you last night?
No,
God, you're a lazy prostitute.
I was a bodyguard.
I'm gonna guard his body from a dry
I was
spell.
there to make sure that he was safe.
I mean,
I
you
did-
totally could have done
Ooh.
more.
I did. I
Can
made
I
sure-
ask you a question?
I made the ladies feel safe.
Not when he's injured.
He was healed with
I'm-
magic. He was perfectly fine. He just
I
didn't
didn't
want you to
wanna
leave.
risk- I didn't want to risk anything.
Boo, can I ask you a question?
You may
Besides,
ask.
sometimes men like it when ladies play hard to get.
Anyways, you're a hero of this area as I motion outward, yet you act like a complete idiot.
Are you saying that it's
Whoever
wrong
called
that I
Fu
get
a hero?
that too? But are you saying that it's wrong for me to give my father figure something valuable that shows affection towards him? Are you saying
That
that I
is
shouldn't
not-
give him anything? That all his
What
hard
was-
work in raising me is for naught?
It's the way you attained it that is the problem, Fu.
I mean, it's kind of par for the course around here.
I know, but you and me both, Jeremy, can agree that Fu can be far greater than what he lets himself be.
All right. Here's what
As
we're
could
gonna
you,
do.
a priest sitting in a bar.
Here's what we're gonna
That's
do.
not as uncommon. You should see some of the other churches.
Jeremy, you're gonna keep the pipe. You're gonna scratch the royal symbol off the side. You're gonna keep the nice pipe, and we're not gonna tell anybody where it came from. Fu, you're gonna burn the underwear. We're gonna pretend that you were not in the room. That it was it was those damn ninjas who jumped in through the windows that broke in and stole a couple of things. They just grabbed the first things they saw and then ran. And we're never gonna speak about this again. Capiche?
As long as it keeps the peace, that's fine. Well, considering the situation, I highly doubt that. They're going to
Alright.
be even more infuriated.
Well, I'm gonna go change to my street clothes,
I'm gonna do the same.
and I'm gonna make sure these are really hung well.
I shall return your outfit, Jeremy. Thank you for allowing me to borrow it.
Not a problem.
But Fu,
It was just nice
So
to have
much
you
for-
out of the bar for a night so I can make a decent profit. This is a rather seedy place. Having someone of the cloth here kind of scares some people.
in some areas, yes.
How much would it cost to rent an apartment instead of paying Jeremy nightly?
An apartment in town?
A 3-bedroom.
A 3-bedroom apartment. That would be roughly 4 silver a month.
Because we're paying Jeremy 2 silver a night.
Yeah.
So why don't we just get an apartment instead of living here?
Actually, it's more like it'd be like a gold and a half a month.
3
So
bedrooms,
15
yeah.
Yeah, 15 silver a month.
15 silver a month. How much money do I even have?
It's doable.
I mean, as long as we're taking quests.
And that's
that
if
pay.
you're in the part of town you're in now. If you want to be
Mhm.
inside the wall, you're looking at 5 to
30.
10 gold. 5 to 10 gold a month.
We gotta go with cheaper for now. We don't got much.
Yes, and I'm like, and once we get dressed, I'm like, okay, Fu, we have work to do.
Jesus, I've been working for hours.
Well, you kind of forgot your other job, haven't you?
All right, tour guide. What would y'all like to see?
Not that job. With the guild.
Oh, right, that.
All right, we have to go see the guild.
Not necessarily.
By the way, did y'all get that package delivered last night?
Yes.
You might want to let them know before they send someone to inquire about it.
All right, great. So we got to go to the mob today.
You all can go to the mob. I refuse.
Well, why don't you look for something nice for us to work on at the guild hall?
We still have the job from the first time you were at the guild. If
I thought-
I may
About the
remind-
sleigh?
Yeah, you guys.
What
never
sleigh?
I thought we reported that one needed more people in it, and that was a higher
And
risk than what they were doing.
Oh, okay.
and then they gave you a cleric to go back with you, and then
Yeah.
you haven't reported back since.
Yeah, back when Fu and I ruined Kanishmas.
Yeah,
Hold on.
you-
Fu was in bed. Like all the good boys and girls shouldn't be on.
Wait,
commission.
yeah, that was me and that other guy. I don't even remember that other guy.
Fu stopped the people who ruined commissioners getting ruined themselves. And we did deal with that. We found out about the lady in white, so we had to go report on it.
Right.
So
Shall we go make our report?
Indeed. I'm just gonna eat some breakfast real fast. I am starving.
Of course.
Fu,
I had
a
a-
Please
loaf
tell
of
me you-
bread and a slab of meat is placed in front of you.
And
I
please
could-
tell me you use protection, boy. Oh no,
Of course I get used.
Aaron.
Of course I have protection on me. I have Hold on. I pull out my dagger.
Oh dear Lord.
I mean, I
Jeremy,
wasn't
please
really,
tell me you gave the boy the talk.
I wasn't really in a
I
dangerous
mean,
part of
I'm
town.
not really his father, so why should I have to?
Oh dear.
Fu, sit down. I'm gonna tell you a story about the birds and the bees.
At least this one knows. You can handle that conversation. I really don't want to get involved.
But
Sometimes
there-
you want a man and a woman, or a man and a man, or a woman and a woman. Whenever two people really like each other, sometimes
necessarily
they
have to be
hug
people.
for a really long time.
Jeremy, can you make my meal to go?
Yes, I understand the basis of
He
sex.
takes a piece of meat, puts it on a piece of bread, and hands it to you.
Thank you.
Literally,
way,
it's just a slab of ham on top of a small loaf of bread.
While she's describing this, I rip open my bread and put the meat in between to make a sandwich.
Ooh, that smells like good.
Jeremy
bread.
looks at you wide-eyed.
All right, well, I ate at
I
the
saw the
Barons.
nobles doing it.
I ate at the Barons,
going.
so I'm gonna go to the mob and let them know that we delivered the package.
So what?
Alrighty.
So why is the basis? What's the point? I already know what sex is. Why do I need? Why did you need? To tell
You
me
know what
again?
could happen after you have sex?
Well, generally I feel hungry and a little sleepy.
And could have the woman carry your child afterwards.
That's not how. That's not how Jeremy told me children were born. He told
Jeremy
me
walks away.
he told me that if you've been really bad, some bastard just drops them off in the middle of the night, and then they become your problem.
All right, that's how he got you. That's not how kids come about.
You're the exception, fool.
But and if you don't treat the little bastard that was delivered to you by the big bastard, terrible misfortune will befall you.
Fu didn't even exist before he came here. He just manifested on Jeremy's doorstep. That's how he was born.
Anyways,
I mean,
Fool?
Fu's memories of his parents are kind of a repressed memory.
fool.
Puppy.
I hope you did not get her pregnant.
I mean, she requested the same thing she always does. It was some type of pie, but I've never actually seen a baker use it.
Was it cream?
That's it. I had to go ask about it.
Anyway, so you two
Take
have
care
your
of the mob.
breakfast. I'm
I'm
gonna
like-
go see the. I'm gonna go to the mob.
I'm going to report to the guild.
Now, with my study of gardening and nature, I do know there's a herb that you chew on to prevent fertility. Is that what you people are talking about?
Yes, and did you chew on it?
I have some up in the garden upstairs.
That doesn't do you any good if you haven't chewed on it.
I was gonna go grab some and chew on it this morning to go with my breakfast.
But
A
after
little
the
too
fact
late for
doesn't do
that.
anything.
God, y'all need to go visit the Golden Tail, and maybe you'll be in a better mood. I go grab another some contraception herbs.
Alrighty then. With that out of the way,
God, it's so
Aaron,
grubby.
you head to the go talk
I'm gonna
to,
go
the shipping group.
First, before I do, I'm gonna go into my room, and I'm pulling out like a cloak with a hood.
Was that it? Do you have any other clothes?
Shit. Does
Wasn't
my-
the red
wait,
dress already the only thing you had, and I was alone?
that the coat that I was wearing when I left the Barrens, does it have a hood?
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna put on my coat and put the hood up.
Okay.
That way, no one sees me. Then I'm gonna make my way down to the dock where the mob is. Making my way downtown.
Okay, so who was it that you guys met with?
Went to the library to
No,
do
no,
some
no,
research.
I'm talking. I'm trying to remember which of the.
The general, the big general that could flatten everybody like a pancake if he
I
so
was
choose.
referring to the guy in the shipping company.
Ah.
I can't remember which one I introduced you guys to.
I don't have his name written down. The last person I have written down is Monk Day, and that was the
Did you guys
Library.
write down which group it was you went to see?
You know, if they come and ask us about the Inquirer, we can just say it was delivered.
I'm trying to remember who it was. We're going to say it was. Oh wait, I think I know who it was. Where is his name? I can't. Ah. I believe it was Torvu Zin.
Wait, was it animal handling that I had proficiency with sex, or was it survival?
I think you used survival.
I'll make a note of that.
Okay, so, you go to meet with Torvu Zin at the Vanguard Shipping Company's warehouse. Aaron, you approach the outside of the warehouse, It seems rather quiet. Just some boxes being brought in off of a cart.
I'm gonna look for the guy that we met with the last time. See if I can find him.
As you walk up to the front door, there's a very large person standing there. What can I do for you?
I'm here to deliver a message about a package that me and my associates were to drop off to the visiting prince.
This way, and he just leads you upstairs to the office.
The package that you gave us to deliver to the prince has been delivered.
Well then, I didn't know the prince was the one who ordered it. Alright then. Well, very well. The payment, and he just puts a small bag of coin in front of you.
I'm gonna open it up and check how much is in there.
There's 10 gold in there.
Alright. Thank you very much.
Have a good day.
I'm gonna take the bag and leave.
Okay. John, you arrive at the guild hall.
I'll go over to the receptionist.
Alrighty. Adventurers Guild. A young woman sits at the counter. You recognize her as Erin. Erin Broad. She introduced you to the party when they were looking for someone.
You did this. You did this to me.
Pretty much. Look at her like,
What did you get me into?
pretty much.
Yes. What can I do for you today?
Reporting about
These people are freaking crazy.
the job that you have requested out of us.
Oh?
Apparently has a lot deeper meaning than we originally thought.
Okay.
The Moonweaver, the temple.
You were sent
is-
to check on a missing person. That's...
A missing person.
Yes.
I'm going to strangle that boy.
You were briefed on this when you joined their party.
Yes, I thought.
I briefed you on it.
Oh my
Yes.
god. Hashtag not fool.
Yes, and unfortunately, I can calmly, based off what I've seen, they may not be among us no more.
Have you confirmed this?
Unfortunately not, but it's a high possibility due to the situation and the location that they had originally scouted.
Okay.
It was besieged by a version of a banshee that's lesser known, that seals holes. And this one had a particular one for men.
Okay.
From what I saw,
So, are you saying you guys aren't able to complete the mission?
we'll complete it as soon as I get
Then
more
go
detail.
complete the mission.
But we should also keep in mind to have many people avoid that area.
Well, once you find out if the person's alive, we could possibly send out another party to clear whatever ruins they appear to have fallen into.
Of course.
So, if that's all, I have work to do.
Yes.
As do you.
Yes, and dragging Fu along is going to be a lot harder than I thought.
You know I'm right here.
I didn't bring you unless you said so. You were coming?
Yeah, I was coming with you. I just need to go to my herb garden.
Now,
As Fu is standing behind you.
With a sad look of constantly getting blamed on his face.
well, to be fair,
If you all
So
are
far-
looking for any additional work, we do have some other things that need done out in the wood.
I mean, we can take a gander. We'll be in the area. Anything to show what a productive party we are, despite this cleric's narrow-minded views of us.
it's not narrow-minded. It's watching you be a fool and constantly proving it.
Don't use my
Oh.
name as a verb.
Then
Well-
prove me wrong.
We do have 2 requests out. One of them is to locate some lost cargo along the trade route through the wood.
Hmm.
It has a 10 silver reward. And the other is from the Vermilion group to escort a caravan to their summer home.
I think we should look into the escort one.
They will be
Nice.
leaving.
After all, the Vermilions are a minor noble family. It would be good to get to be on good terms with them.
I think you're on a little too good of terms.
Are you saying that it's wrong to network?
What I'm saying is your terms and the actual terms are completely different.
I look at Aaron, the one that introduced us to him. See how he's just negative all the time.
Yes, I figured that someone of his status would be a little bit more welcoming.
No, I have high expectations, and Fu keeps failing them.
I mean, honestly, you should have seen the very first mission we brought him on. We had to pull him by rope because he was about to get taken by some undead.
Yes, on the very mission that we should be completing right now.
You wanted us to give a report, so we're here to give the report. And we gave the report. And she's saying, go back and finish the job. So we did what you suggested, and she said, get back to work.
Fu, you are not going to win this argument.
God, you're stubborn.
No,
You're not stubborn?
it's called knowing when to talk.
Speaking of which, you said you'd give me a proper talk, and then you got mad at me and had the prostitute do it.
At the
Yes, and-
word prostitute, the young lady at the counter looks a little taken aback.
I mean, I
You
might
hired
understand.
a prostitute to talk about what with this young man?
He wanted to teach me about fertilization and why it's important to use protection.
And she just goes wide-eyed and Hey,
But-
John, what is your AC?
13.
Okay, you catch a open palm to the face. You take 2 damage.
But all she mentioned to me was something about bumbling birds and stinging bees.
The boy's going to have to eventually learn, so I don't know why you're upset about this. Considering that one of the jobs you offered us involves with a certain noble lady from the Vermilion group that he's infatuated with. or she be infatuated with him.
Well, my personal
That
life
is
should not
none
affect
of
my
our
professional
concern.
business.
And maybe you should focus on the job you have.
Tell
The
him that.
job from the Vermilion Group will not be available for another 2 weeks, as that is when the convoy is leaving. So, if you don't mind, I have work to do. You have work to do. You'd probably better get to it. Because until you get it done, you're not getting paid unless you give up the mission. And then you still aren't getting paid. So, good luck and good day.
Now, Fu, you did mention a person with a few other folks with you.
Yeah, the two elves that have been accompanying me.
No. Prior to me joining.
Oh yes, the one elf that you know, and been kind of a pyromaniac.
Fu, half-stepping this conversation is not helping us.
Well, I'm answering your question. He's
You're not giving all the information.
I'm telling you, the person that I had prior to you was.
I'm
the elf that
talking
you know.
about met
Oh, that I met?
during this mission.
Yeah, he was a pyromaniac.
John, you know he hasn't met the person yet. You guys are sent to locate a missing person.
Yeah. And I'm like,
Oh, you're asking about the person we're supposed to go find. Yeah, I don't know.
and I'm still trying to figure out that crash site that we found.
I think we just accidentally unearthed a small tomb.
And it's more than a small tomb, boy.
Well, that's why we needed an inquiry, a holy man, which is what led you to us. We
Which
rely
is-
on your expertise on this knowledge, on this endeavor.
Unfortunately, I do not know much about the Dream Reaver as much as people assume. I mean, Moonweaver.
Aren't you a clergyman? Isn't the undead your bread and butter?
Considering that this goes beyond just being a clergyman and it involves a whole city by the looks of things.
Then it should be easy for you to get the information we need. Aren't you a part of the proper channels in the city?
No. Points to ear. Point, point, point.
Oh, right. You were against the whole networking idea when I brought it up earlier.
Fu, when we went to the, I was working under the basis that you were supposed, that most of what we needed was in that fallen temple.
Mm-hmm. From what we were able to uncover on our own before you, it looked like the body was dragged towards that fallen temple. When we
And
sent
based
someone
off
down
of
to
what
investigate-
I saw, you see where this is going with your half-stepping now?
you have all the relevant information I have.
A high chance that that man is dead.
Then should we just report him dead and collect the
And
money?
your job is to confirm whether or not he is.
Because that sounds totally unethical to me. Especially while we're standing in the guild hall with Aaron listening.
And she is in full knowledge of our conversation, yes. Fu, you're not turning this on me. Time to go and get this job done and stop looking for side gigs.
Fine, but next time you're uncomfortable, don't just have a prostitute do it. And
No.
I'll make my leave.
Fu, you're a fool.
So, Fu has stepped out. John, are you following?
I left.
Okay. We're
Out
gonna
of
take-
curiosity, How are our individual reps here at the guild hall?
Fu, you're in pretty good standing considering the number of menial tasks you've done for them over the years.
I really don't care. I was brought in as a to help.
So, but we're gonna take a quick break. We will be right back after this ad break.
All right, ETA for the ad break.
A minute.
Huh?
A minute.
So, yeah, Fu's not sidestepping, but he's a high wisdom character. He fully understands that you got a prostitute to explain the birds and the bees to him, and what people are thinking about you as a cleric in the guild hall.
Unethical.
And then constantly abusing a child in front of everyone. Sorry, a young man.
That's where you lose. You're 15. Guess what? You're considered an adult.
Mm-hmm. Still inexperienced in learning, and this holy man is getting prostitutes to show him the ways of the world.
Yeah, that's why. Right.
And we are back. So, you guys have met up with people and are currently. Are you heading back to the tavern? What is the plan?
I feel like we should find Aaron so that we can do another expedition.
Okay. Okay, so Fu, on your way back, you notice a couple of missing posters for several different children from the area in which you live.
Anyone I recognize?
Some of the younger children that they're like 5, 6 have gone missing over the last couple nights.
Weird.
And there's a reward for any information or for their safe return.
Okay, I'm gonna make a mental list of each child, but at least I know of.
So far, you've seen 3 different posters.
And I'm guessing kidnapping is not common in this part of town.
It is, but not this time of year.
I'll make some inquiries with the fruit lady.
Okay. What can I do you for, Sonny?
Hey, I was just wondering, do you know anything about all these missing kid cases?
Yeah, it seems a bunch of the children from the far west side of town went missing the other night after some undead showed up, and haven't been able to be located since.
Oh dear, I hope they weren't taken.
As do I.
Is there a specific area, or is it just the west side?
Let me, So, they were, the, last couple, buildings before you get to the farm fields.
Okay. I'll see if I can't help find some of them.
A lot of them typically played out in the fields, so we're afraid that they may have run into the forest fleeing from the dead that popped up in the area.
I've got some business in the woods. I'll see if I can't take a look.
If you would, I know their families are extremely worried.
Of course, if we don't look after each other, who will?
She tosses you an apple.
My character shakes his head like, all the good in the world and all the bravery, but no brain behind it.
She throws an apple. Make a dexterity save, John.
My character doesn't dodge. He doesn't care. He's like,
You get nailed in the forehead with an apple.
if you only...
Be nice
'Cause my
to the
character-
young men. A man of the cloth shouldn't be such an ass.
No, I feel that I'm inadequate to teach him what he needs, to be honest with you.
Well then.
He has so much potential, but wasted so frivolously. And you can see it as well as I do.
Fu does quite a bit on his own, so you do well to get to know him a little better before judging him so harshly.
I hold myself to those high standards as well. In a sense, meaning I have failed him.
You've been
Simple
around
as
him
that.
for what, 3 days?
It's been about a week or so. At this point, I think.
Okay, and
Yes, and I can see his great
he's
character.
young. He has much to learn.
Yes, and nobody willing to help him.
There's plenty of people willing to help him, but he needs to experience things for himself too.
Yes, that is true.
Now you
But
buying
I
anything,
really-
or are you just gonna sit here and blab?
No, but here, I give her 2 silver pieces.
Thank you.
Anyways, do you know anything about a previous job that he was working on?
Not really.
I feel that he's
All I know
leaving
is
out.
him and his friends were out in the woods quite a bit, and then one of them went missing. One of them ended up getting hurt working on the farm, and that's about it.
Because I feel like he's leaving out information to me from the Adventurers Guild that I should be made privy of. We should complete this job.
I walked back to the bar to try to meet up with Aaron.
Okay.
Yeah, I went back to the tavern after
So,
I met up with the mom.
Aaron, as you arrived back at the tavern,
Mhm.
there were 3 large chests with your name in your room when you came back.
I'm gonna stare at them for a moment and then hesitantly walk over and try to open one.
They are full of clothes. All types of clothes.
Oh my god.
There's also a set of form-fitted leather armor. in
Oh
there.
my.
And a handwritten note saying, "It seems like you don't have much to wear, and when it comes to fighting, it would probably be better to be safer rather than sorry. See you again soon."
I'm gonna go through the. I'm gonna pick up the armor and examine it.
He does care.
So it is very nice leather armor.
Holy crap.
Stud for your stud.
Yep. So you
Pretty
can add
much.
you can add to your character leather armor, which I believe is plus a couple to your armor class.
Yep. +2.
Yeah.
Where do I find that?
In equipment.
If you go to your inventory,
Mhm.
Oh,
you can add stuff. here. Actually, I'll just go ahead and add it for you.
All right.
Oh, or what? D&D Beyond.
Got it. Just plain leather, light armor.
Yep.
All right.
So.
All right, that added 1 to my AC.
Cool.
All right. So once I change into my armor and stuff, I'm gonna take the pouch of gold that I got from the mob and go sit in the tavern and wait for the other two to come back.
Okay. So, a couple minutes later, the other two show up. Fu shows up before John's character. I cannot remember what John's character's name is.
Chrysalis.
I'm gonna slide 3 gold over to Fu.
Thank you.
This is our payment from the mob.
And they're not the mob. It's literally just a delivery group. Why?
I thought it was the mob.
No, you guys
That's what
assumed that.
Oh.
They just asked you to discreetly deliver a package, and you assumed it was criminal enterprise.
I remember
To be
someone
fair,
saying mob.
you did say blood oath.
I remember someone saying
because
mob.
the thing they delivered, what you were delivering, was extremely expensive.
I remember someone saying mob.
Yeah, Jeremy.
No.
Uh,
Jeremy didn't.
Oh.
You did, John.
No,
No, it was you. Trust me.
it
Well,
wasn't
this
me
is
on
from
that
the-
one.
I never
this is
once.
payment for the package we delivered.
I never
payment for the
once
package
said
we
it
delivered.
was the mob. I said there was some shady shit going down in their warehouse.
That's kind of light for it. But I guess 3 gold's still a good price.
They gave 10 to the whole of us.
Well, the priest was against the whole idea to begin with.
So, are you guys going to head out into the woods, or are you just gonna chill?
So I think we should finish that job that we hired the priest for. He's been really
Mhm.
uppity lately, and I think getting some outdoor work will do him some good. He should be back momentarily.
All right.
I'll show up.
Okay, so are we all ready?
Yes,
Mhm.
let's go.
I'm kind of, as we're like talking, I'm kind of like running my hand over like the shoulder of the armor, like, oh my god.
Actually, it does look quite fetching.
But
He
the
was
Baron
able-
sent me 3 chests worth of clothes, including this armor.
That was
Like,
awfully
the
kind
armor
of him.
took up, like, it was a smaller chest, and it was just in that chest by itself. The armor and all the clothes that go under it.
I'll have to send a
That's-
thank you his way.
Yes. But that was awfully nice of him.
Hmm.
Can you show me how to get people to buy me things without sleeping with them?
I didn't do anything.
It's called have tits.
I have a tail.
Oh, at the rate you're going, you may have that easily if you play your cards right, boy.
Boo, start stuffing your shirt.
So you
Can
guys,
can I shove 2 apples into Foo's shirt right now?
do you have 2 apples?
Do we have 2 apples? Jeremy, do you have 2 apples? Or any 2 round items?
He hands you 2 potion bottles. Very gingerly.
Foo, come here.
Are they full potion bottles?
No.
Oh, good.
Foo.
Well, as Fu makes his way towards the door, he really should be off.
I'm gonna run over and try to shove the bottles in his shirt.
Rape!
Okay, so I'm going to need a grapple check, so it's going to be opposed strength checks.
Oh,
Oh,
that's strength. That's Constitution.
So strength
Zero
check.
modifier.
Yep.
the
16.
Damn it! Why am I have no strength?
Because you're a 16-year-old boy.
Damn, I really do just do nothing but technique with these chicks. Good on Fu.
I know, right?
well, he at least knows that much.
How do I get to put the potion bottles in?
I mean, you caught him. Now you can attempt.
I'm gonna attempt to shove the potion bottles in his shirt. What's this gonna be?
Are you children ready? Well, I know Fu is ready to get moving.
Why aren't
Well-
you doing anything to help me?
What would it be? Would it be
Because I believe the old.
athletics or,
Sleight of hand.
Sleight of hand. I have a +7 modifier on that. All right, I got a 12.
Fu, are you trying to resist it at this point?
I am.
Okay. Roll something to
Save your bacon
yeah.
and your dignity.
What would you
I'm just trying to put some
It's a-
potion boobs in your shirt.
First perception,
I go
and
dexterity.
then
There's no perception. He's already been grappled.
Okay.
I'm
Well-
clinging to him.
it's
I-
gonna be strength again.
Actually, I am gonna, because she's on top of me trying to shove things in my shirt, I'm gonna show her some of my bucking hips and use acrobatics
Okay.
to attempt to throw her off.
That's why I said strength.
No, acrobatics is completely dex. I'm going through the movements. 18. As I try to twist our bodies in a way where I can get out of this.
And what was your sleight of hand?
My sleight of hand was 12.
So, Fu escapes before you can actually get them in his shirt.
Damn
Are you
it!
are you
Early
done,
bastard.
young lady? Because it's clear that Fu actually wants to get moving.
Let's go. Let's go.
Jeremy, that wasn't funny.
Who said
was
Jeremy was the
extremely
one
I
laughing?
had nothing to do with that. She just asked for something round.
After saying I needed a pair of tits.
And besides, I don't believe he was the one laughing.
Plus, I do a lot of
There's
gymnastics.
the laughing priest walking out.
Plus, I do a lot of gymnastics. Do you see these pecs?
Well,
You did not get what just happened, did you?
so with that, you guys start heading off toward the woods.
Into the thick of it. Into the
Okay.
thick of it.
If I remember right, it was over the river and through the woods.
And into the dungeon you go?
Yes.
Now, quick question. What exactly happened before I joined you, Aaron?
So it started off when we first got to the town, and I met Fu because I walked into the tavern and I had a drink and I was working to pay for it, and I was in this giant cauldron trying to clean it, because that was usually
Not that
Fu's
the
job.
mission for the Adventurers Guild, please. Let's get
Okay. Okay, so then the original guy that we were with, he and I went out in the middle of the night because we saw something lying in the woods on Knishma's Eve. And so we went out into the woods and we found this bloody trail and a sleigh. And then we got attacked by the undead, and Fu came and saved us and brought us back. And then the following day, we went to check out what was going on there, and we found the giant hole. Where we brought you to. And we lost the first guy in there. And then we went back to the Adventurers Guild so that way we could talk to them about it, and then that's when they gave us you.
So,
In other words,
Fu,
you had all the information.
no. The only information I didn't have was the crash. They saw something. Only thing I had was, so in short, we could have possibly have closed this case. Y'all could have closed this case without me.
I mean, the guy died, so.
Now I just need to bring back proof of confirmation.
You could have done this without me.
Yes, but we need someone to get down there.
Yes, and
Plus, you're happy to be with us.
Yeah, we bring a joy to your life.
sometimes headache.
Oh, I think I have an herb.
Mainly you, Foo.
I'm a perfect angel.
I want to call you a perfect angel
Foo,
now.
give me a perception check as you guys are walking through the woods.
Oh, keep your eyes open. Some kids have been gone missing in this area. 26, not 20.
Oh, you had a nat 20?
Yep.
You
Who's
see,
hyper aware of the woods?
You see a bunch of branches off to one side of the trail that are broken. Like somebody was running through really quickly. But it's low to the ground, so it looks like they were shorter.
I'm going to do survival and see if I can't find some print. Well, find a trail.
Okay.
That's an 8.
Past that bush, you don't see much.
Guys, I think I found something.
Okay, what did you find, Foo?
These branches here, they're broken like someone's been running past. And look from how low they are, it had to be from something incredibly small, or at least smaller than an adult. Well, your average adult. And there was a case about a bunch of missing kids as we were walking by that I noticed.
Yes, you did mention it to the fruit lady.
Hey, she is a wise, respected elder in this town.
Well, I don't know most of the people in town, so forgive me if I don't have that insight.
Networking, man. Anyway, I think this might be a path that the kids went.
I'll make a survival check to see.
Okay.
What does a 16 give me?
A 16. You see a couple of small footprints leading off into the woods with an occasional drop of blood in the snow.
Something definitely came through here, and they're bleeding. Let's move. It may be the kids, considering how small the footprints are. And the trail leads. Would I know which way the trail leads?
You
Exactly.
can follow it.
Yeah, and I'm point to the trail in snow with blood on it. Come on.
We're in pursuit.
Oh.
Okay. So, do you give me another survival check?
All right.
All of us?
Yeah.
15.
Okay, we got a
19.
19.
16.
16. Okay, you guys are doing pretty good following the trail. You see they were like darting through bushes. It looks like they were trying to lose something. Or like something had been following them and they were trying to hide. And there's like 3 small sets of footprints.
It's definitely the kids.
The wolf's chasing them.
That is a very good question.
You don't think it's the undead that we ran into in the hole?
It could be a completely different source of undead.
And quite
Isn't that? Don't they only come around the full moon though?
I mean, there are 3.
there's some that can come during the full moon, some that can walk amongst us just It's plain as day. I would know that.
I'd say you can give me a religion check. Or a history.
I'll go with it. Let me see my history. Yeah, history's a better roll for me on this one. 18 for history.
So typically most undead don't like being out in the sunlight. So they stick to the shadows, but there's just lots of undead in the area.
It's
People
more
are
of
constantly being sent out to deal with small groups of them that pop up here and there.
it's more of no. As long as the sun's not out, we're gonna run into an undead. So the winter is the perfect time for them.
Mm-hmm. That's why we need to find them fast.
Agreed.
All right. So where should we start?
Let's keep following the trail. And at this point, my character pulls out a shield. Like, this is gonna get ugly.
So, give me. You guys keep following it for a while, and then you get to this large clearing. Give me investigation checks.
13.
So there's a lot of like mud on top of the snow around here, and it looks like there's like horse prints and maybe tracks from a cart.
This could be the missing cargo that Aaron was talking. That guild Aaron was talking about.
I rolled a 5, by the way.
Hey, we're being really productive. We didn't even sign up for this mission.
So it looks like there is quite a scuffle here. There's a couple larger footprints. It looks like some people fell down in the snow.
Something happened here.
The cart leads off down a not really well-maintained trail further into the woods.
Is that where also the kid tracks are going?
The kid tracks disappear at this point.
That means we find the missing cargo, we find the kids, and probably find our missing person.
You do see quite a few spots where there was blood in the snow, but it's kind of covered up by mud. And what were your guys' investigations again?
5.
13.
Did anyone beat a 18?
Heck no!
Okay. And that's all you guys notice.
Anyways, I start following the trail. Survival roll.
Yeah.
That was a bad one. Well, food leads the way.
With a nat 20.
Okay. So, Fu, you follow this for a while, and then the trail starts getting into rockier terrain and gets a little harder to follow as they start climbing up into the mountains. On this old road that hasn't really been traversed in a long time.
I ready my shield as I make my way up, trying to follow as well as I can.
Okay. So, you guys are traveling for a couple hours. And occasionally you'll see just like a rut where the cart dropped down into it. But the snow up here is really deep. And it's getting really hard to traverse through the mountain.
Great. Kids
You
look like
do
they're long.
see a cave about a quarter mile ahead on the trail.
Fool, let's check that cave.
Because it is starting to get dark. And being in the mountains, the temperature is going to drop, and it will be very windy after the sun goes down.
Maybe we should turn back and check again in the morning.
I mean, it took us most of the day to get here.
Fortunately, we had this.
If we
We're
could,
gonna-
if in,
We're gonna have to camp out for the night.
All right, let's.
Alright.
We should make our way to the cave, but let's bring some wood with us.
Exactly.
All right, so
Alright.
we're gonna make our way to the cave.
Okay. So you arrive at the cave, and there is. It's dark. It's kind of small, but it looks like somebody stopped here previously and not too long ago, because the fire that was in the middle is still pretty much in one piece.
How warm is it?
It's cold by now.
Alright, so someone was here.
Does the cave go deeper?
It does.
I highly doubt that they went deeper.
That's what she said.
I use my amulet. You cast light on it to give us some illumination.
Okay. It is a natural cave. But it's pretty wide. And it goes deep into the mountain.
Okay, I'm gonna take a small rock and chuck it, and then listen to the vibrations. See how. Try to get a base sense of how deep.
Okay. Give me an attack roll so I can figure out how far you throw this.
X.
Okay, that will be 18 plus this is being thrown to my dex, which would be 21.
21. So you just lob this rock way back in there. You can just hear it smack, 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 and just skittering across the ground deeper into the cave.
And would that be
And
a
then
perception?
you hear it clunk at the bottom of a drop.
Well, the cave has a dip in it.
Good to know ahead of
Alright.
time.
You
So
do hear the slight sound of running water, but you're not sure where it comes from.
Alright, so how are we thinking to do this?
well, we have wood. Well, you do have a kindling box on you, do you? If not, I have one.
Oh,
Inventory, let's see. Yes, I do have a tinderbox on me.
Okay. We have an adequate supplies just in case of. I'll take first watch. Food, you take second watch. Okay.
All
what
right.
about me?
You take third.
I mean, only
Basically.
two of you only need to sleep for 4 hours.
Exactly.
Realistically, y'all could take both watches, and I could get a full 8-hour rest.
It's up to you guys.
I'm fine with that.
It doesn't matter to me, but honestly, considering what we're dealing with, I'd rather have food up. At least
Then you-
one of the watches.
Well, I mean, if we do you do a watch and I do a watch, there's going to be a portion of each of the night where two people are up. Two people are
Yeah.
up at the same time, either way. Because if she sleeps while I sleep, then when I wake up, she'll be waking up. So
Well, and with that, you guys settle in for the evening. And that will be the end of our session this week. We'll pick up here 2 weeks from now and see what our adventurers do and see if they can possibly locate these missing children.
All right.
Along with everybody else that's missing.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Actually,
yeah.
honestly, we don't have to report the other people that are missing. We just have to report the cargo that went missing.
The other person, the beginning of our journey.
Oh yeah, that too.
Yeesh, that guy's. I feel sorry for this guy. He's supposed to have found him by now.
I mean, he's been down there for a couple days.
He's good as dead.
Yeah.
And with that, we wish everyone a good night.
Good night.
Later.
Honestly, we might have to kill him again.
I think we probably did after what I did. So, yeah.
Okay, and raid.
Also, I'm happy with this level.